Ladies and gentlemen, today a review of One Love, the story of Bob Marley. One Love opens on the story of Bob Marley as he sets out to produce one of his greatest live shows, one that would take place in a very politically charged environment in Jamaica, one where a civil war is looming. Kingsley Ben-Adir was an inspired choice to play Bob Marley, and I think he does a fantastic job. He truly does embody the energy of Bob Marley. He adds depth and character to the story of a man that truly deserves it. Lashana Lynch, who plays Rita Marley. She does a fantastic job in this movie, and I think she delivers some of the most powerful, more poignant moments in the film. The plot of this biopic really helps to illustrate exactly how entrenched in politics in Jamaica Bob Marley truly was. The bulk of the movie takes place during the time at which Bob Marley had to move to London for the safety of himself and his family, as it tells the stories that are woven through the recording of one of his most popular albums, Exodus, as well as telling the story of how the success of his music affects himself, his family, and the country of Jamaica. There are moments of levity, humor, and extraordinary passion. This is a worthwhile biopic of the great man, Bob Marley. My biggest criticisms of the film do lie in the fact that there are certain parts of the story that are paced a little too quickly, that the audience member may get a little bit lost as to exactly which stories we're watching and which parts of Bob Marley's life we are experiencing in the moment. These pacing issues do resolve themselves to a spectacular third act, where we are treated to some incredible performances and moments in the movie. In a musical biopic like this, it is interesting to see how they blend the former performance of the artist and the new performance of the actor. And I think there are moments in this film where that doesn't quite work too well. Kingsley Ben-Adir's performance when he sings is really good, but there are moments in the film where they combine his voice with Bob Marley's actual voice, and the way that sometimes it's mixed, it does take me out of the film. It does kind of take away some of the believability. But the moments where their voices are kind of synced up together, and when Kingsley's performance really is embodying the mannerisms of Bob Marley, it does work really well. And when it does work well, it really does give way to some incredible moments while he is playing Bob Marley on stage. While the film is about Bob Marley, there is quite a lot of Rita Marley. As I mentioned earlier, Lashana Lynch does an incredible job of mixing incredible depth to the character of Rita, but also the chemistry between her and Ben-Adir really do add to some of the more poignant and powerful moments of the movie. The third act of the film really is about their relationship, and in more broader terms, it's really about him and his family. I gave Bob Marley One Love an 8.5 out of 10. Kingsley Ben-Adir delivers a solid performance as the beloved singer, and Lashana Lynch does an incredible portrayal of Rita Marley as well. And both actors' chemistry really do add to the story of these two people. This musical biopic really does a lot to share with the world the importance of Bob Marley's music to the Jamaican people, the message of his music, and an understanding of the man who created that music. I will say that there is some pacing issues towards the middle of the movie, and some of the story and plot becomes a little convoluted with a bit of time shifting of characters that can be a little confusing until later in the movie when you realize exactly what you're watching. I will say that my biggest criticisms of the movie do lie with the pacing. Sometimes towards the beginning and the middle, it becomes a little bit too slow and convoluted, especially since we're dealing with two different timelines. But eventually towards the third act, we really get a solid biopic with some incredible performances. And I will say that sometimes the mixture of Kingsley's voice and Bob Marley's voice doesn't quite work the entire time, but there are some really well executed musical scenes. If you're a Bob Marley fan, definitely watch this in the theater. I think you'll enjoy yourself. Thank you for watching.